Good morning, grade 12. Let's continue with the document 4. It's about chromosomal mutation. The gene mutation are source of change in the genome. However, the modification of chromosome in A cells, referred to as a chromosomal mutation, can also remodel the genome. عم نبلش حديثنا هون انه عم نحكي عن الميوتيشن. ممكن نكون gene mutation يعني gene a change in the nucleotide sequence مثل substitution, insertion, deletion, or a chromosomal mutation. أنا عندي two types of mutation وخدناهم قبل. هني gene mutation يعني change in the nucleotide sequence or chromosomal mutation. لما بحكي عن chromosomal mutation معناتها it is a change in the chromosome number or shape. What are the different type of chromosomal mutation? So we discussed before genetic mutation, genome mutation, the change in the nucleotide, the three types تبعولها اللي هن insertion, deletion, substitution, and they change the amino acid and thus they change the protein. Now it's time to discuss the change in the chromosome shape, the chromosomal mutation. Abnormality in chromosome number. So the first of all is a change in the chromosome number يعني an extra chromosome or a loss of one chromosome, trisomy or monosomy. Autosomal abnormality. What do I mean by autosomal abnormality? Autosomal abnormality means the chromosomal mutation affect the autosome, affect the chromosome number 1 till 22 يعني الخطأ بالكروموزوم صار يا أما من الكروموزوم 1 أو لل 22 بحدا من هدول الكروموزومات. الجونوزوم لا. So it's called familial Down syndrome اللي هو trisomy 21 after John Down, the British physician who described the condition in 1866. So بنقول له Down syndrome. نحن we need to memorize the three types. Down syndrome, Turner and Klinefelter syndrome. Down syndrome, it is the trisomy 21. It is the presence of one extra chromosome on pair 21. Look at document 2. It is a karyotype of child with familial trisomy 21. If you can see, I have an extra chromosome on the chromosome 21. That's why we name this abnormality as trisomy 21 or Down syndrome. They show the following symptoms: oblique eyes, short hand with a unique palm crease, cardiac deformities, and mental retardation. Usually they have a mental retardation أكيد. They have an oblique eyes, they short the palm hand, and أكيد they at some point their sexual maturity is attained يعني they can't reproduce. Some of them can reproduce. It depends on their case, how severe is their cases. The frequency of occurrence is 1 in 700 births in the world, that it varies depending on many factors. For 700 children, okay, I have 1 in over 700 risk to have a child with Down syndrome. A newborn risk is increasing with the age of the mother, as we discussed before, because as the woman age, the ova age, and at the ova age it is tend to undergo a mistake during meiosis. مثل ما بنعرف الترايزومي والمونوزومي هن product ل mistake during meiosis. يا أما الأم عطتني extra chromosome يا أما البي عطاني extra chromosome. Usually لما بنحكي عن trisomy 21 we look to the age of the mother, because as the woman ages, okay, the probability of undergoing a mistake during meiosis increases too. Another type of trisomy 21 can result from translocation of chromosome, document C. If we look at document C, we can see that a part of chromosome 21 has been translocated on the chromosome number 14. عم نشوف انه شقفة من الكروموزوم 21 طارت وراحت على chromosome number 14. هلا as a dosage in the same person, this is normal. يعني عند نفس الشخص ما حيتأثر. ليه؟ لأنه الجين عدد الجين ما تغير عنده، بس اللوكيشن تبعيته تغيرت، بس أكيد الأوف سبرينج رح يتأثروا كتير. رح نشوف كيف، لأنه ممكن تعطي الأوف سبرينج تبعها الكروموزوم ناقص أو الكروموزوم الزايد، ولما بيجمعوا مع الباترنال بارت رح يكون في عندي ترايسومي. So as a person ما حيتأثر physically phenotypically لبرا، رح يبين طبيعي، مع أنه عنده هو another type of mutation which is called translocation of a chromosome. So this is also a translocation. This is also a mutation, chromosomal mutation, but it's called translocation. So, affected individuals have the same symptom as a familial trisomy 21. However, their karyotype has, in addition to the pair of chromosome 21, a third chromosome 21 attached translocated to another chromosome. يعني البيبي اللي رح ينتج عن هذا الكاريوتايب رح نعطيه كروموزوم 14 عليه 21 رح ينجمع مع 221 اوكي ورح نعطيه 21 عادي والفادر حيعطيه 21 سو حيصير في عنده 21 وعنا 14 عليه 21 فاذا كأن عنده 3 21. I will repeat. عنا هيدا karyotype of a human being. Okay, as we can see he has chromosome 21. One part of the chromosome 21 is translocated on the chromosome number 14. يعني عندي كروموسوم نمبر 14 واحد طبيعي والشقفة الثانية عليها شقفة من 21. إذا بدي أعمل ميوزز هيدا ممكن يعطي البيبي عنا ال 21 العادي وممكن يعطي ال 14 عليه 21 ونرجع نجمع مع 21 from the maternal part إذا هو father فإذا رح يصير في عندي 3 chromosome 21. So this is also a mutation. So I have two type of mutation, trisomy وكمان عندي المونوزومي أكيد رح نشوفها وعندي الترانسلوكيشن. As you can see in document B, it is the variation of the frequency of trisomy 21 in the function of maternal age. As you can see guys, as the woman ages, as we increase in age, okay, maternal age, the frequency of Down syndrome increases. Why? Because as I told you before, the woman ova age as this woman age. For example, if I have a woman of 30 years old, the age of her ova is 30 years old too. That's why, miss, I have here, as we increase in age, the frequency of Down syndrome also increase. So, sex chromosome abnormalities. I have the abnormalities in the sex chromosome or in the gonosome. We name them chromosomal abnormalities. Other abnormalities in chromosome number affect the sex chromosome, resulting in several syndromes. I have two syndromes. I have Turner syndrome, XO, يعني on the pair 21 I have only one X. This is a girl أكيد لأنه ما في Y. Patients have a short statures and they are sterile. أكيد they are sterile because of the atrophy of their ovaries. بما أنه عندي 1X وهي girl ما اكتملت الأوفاريز تبعيتها لأنه I need the other sex chromosome ليكتمل الجين of 2 allele ويكون في عندي normal ovaries. Secondary sexual characteristics أكيد do not develop and they look like a boy alike لأنه ما عندنا feminine characteristics. لأنه when we study the first chapter in biology in grade 12, we say that the secondary sexual characteristics are located on the sex chromosome. The other syndrome, فإذا عندي Turner syndrome وأخذنا down وهالمرة Klinefelter syndrome, it is the XXY, it is the presence of one extra chromosome on the chromosome 23. As you can see in the karyotype, I have one extra chromosome, XXY, instead of XY alone or XX. As a gender, it is a boy, but it looks like a girl. They exhibit both male and female secondary sexual characteristics. It means they have an abnormal development of the breasts and they have mental retardation. So they look like a female, but their gender is a boy. Other abnormalities affecting the number of sex chromosome XYY, XXX, they are fetal. They usually die during pregnancy. That's why we don't have name for these disease. So in this activity, I have two type of mutation. I have a gene mutation and I have chromosomal mutation. You need to study the name of the three mutations: chromosomal mutation, Turner syndrome, Klinefelter syndrome, and Down syndrome. And you need to know the translocation. The translocation as a mutation, it is a part of a chromosome that usually it is displaced or it is translocated from one chromosome to the other chromosome. It won't affect the individual. يعني الشخص اللي صارت عنده translocation are the causes of abnormality in a chromosome number. As we can see, I have meiosis, and the meiosis, usually the abnormality in chromosome number are usually due to error in meiosis during gametogenesis. I have spermatogenesis and oogenesis, and both leads to the formation of gamete. When I'm talking about a mistake during meiosis, I mean by this a mistake either from meiosis 1 يلي هي separation of homologous chromosome, or a mistake during meiosis 2 separation of sister chromatid. It depends. So as you can see in the document G, I have the non-disjunction of the first meiotic division, and I have a non-disjunction of the second meiosis division. I have a mistake during meiosis 1 or a mistake during meiosis 2. What happened in meiosis 1? In meiosis 1, I do separate the homologous chromosome. So as you can see, if there is a problem in meiosis 1, the homologous chromosome aren't separated properly, and I will end by having a cell with 2 chromosomes, while in the other cells is an empty cells with 0 chromosome. So يا اما بيكون عندي n-1 يا اما n+1، يعني يا اما العدد بده يكون زايد واحد كروموزوم زياده او ناقص كروموزوم. If it will meet with a regular gamete يلي هي n، يا بده يكون عندي صار 2n-1 ويكون عندي مونوزومي، او 2n+1 ويكون عندي ترايزومي. So هيدي ولا كيس بيكون البيبي نورمال. اما اذا كانت المستيك during meiosis 2، so في عندي probability انه يطلع البيبي normal. How? If you look to the non-disjunction of the second equational division, you can see that the sister chromatid aren't separated correctly. So the homologous chromosome are separated correctly, but the sister chromosome aren't separated correctly. So I have the cell with blue chromosome, 2 chromatid for one cell, and the red one also separated correctly, the red one. So I have only 2 normal gamete and 2 abnormal gamete, one with an extra chromosome and one with a loss of 1 chromosome. So إذا انجمعوا هيدول السيلز ببعضهم normal gametes، إذا جمعت normal gametes ممكن تعطيني normal baby. أما 2 chromatid with a cells of 1 تعطيني n+1. إذا صار في عندي mistake عند الفادر والمستيك عند المادر، يعني paternal and maternal part، اوقات بصير في عندي abnormal excess with tetra chromosome، يعني البي عطى extra chromosome والام عطى extra chromosome. so هيدا اكيد بيموتوا during abortion، ما بيكونوا newborn baby. So this is the case of chromosomal abnormality or chromosomal number numerical abnormalities. Last paragraph, abnormalities affecting the structures of the chromosome. The Chromosome disease, Catkar syndrome, causes severe mental retardation and larynx malformation so that the baby emits a sound like a cat mewing. So this is a disease. Its name is Chromosome. The baby starts crying for several hours like a cat, okay, without knowing a reason. And he has also a mental retardation and larynx malformation. This disease is due to the loss of a part of chromosome number 5. So the pair of chromosome number 5 shown in document H with a child affected with Chromosome show that a portion of this chromosome number 5 is lost. So the karyotype shows an abnormality of one of the copy of chromosome number 5. Kindly you need to solve the probing the documents from number 1 to 5. Compare the karyotype of documents A and C. What conclusion can you draw from document B? You need to write the chromosome formula. Let me remind you about the chromosomal formula, guys. The chromosome, the total number, comma, the sex or the gender, comma. If you have any abnormality, you need to mention where does this abnormality located. So for example, if I have person with Down syndrome, so the total is 47, comma, he is a boy XY and he has an extra chromosome, so comma, plus 21. يعني على chromosome 21 he has an extra chromosome. In number 4, you need to illustrate a diagram of meiosis and fertilization process which lead to the Klinefelter syndrome XXY. يعني بتحطوا الغلط أكيد يا عند البي يا عند الأم. يا البي عطى XY والأم عطت X، أو الأم عطت XX والبيعة white هيطلع عندك Klinefelter syndrome with meiosis process. And what is the type of mutation observed in document H? Is this a numerical or translocation mutation أو other type of mutation? And what is the percentage of abnormal gamete؟ لازم نطلع له الجاميت لهيدا الشخص اللي معه كريجوشا ونشوف أي من ولاده ممكن يكون abnormal gamete. Watch well the video. If you have any question, don't hesitate to contact me, and for sure I will upload the solution of the probing tomorrow. 12. Let's continue with the document 4. It's about